What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the AutoVlog YouTube channel. It is finally time to start doing some mods on the RS7, and the first one is laying right here on the floor. We've done this type of mod actually several times on the channel on different cars, but the difference in today's video is that I'm gonna attempt to do this on my own. It really isn't hard, but for someone like me that just doesn't know what they're doing, it's still gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Now, there was one time where I tried to do this, and it didn't work out all that great.
No. I stripped the bolt. I stripped the damn bolt.
And just like that time, this time, the package is coming from my good friends at Carbontastic, and you know what it is. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at this. We got a new steering wheel for the RS7. Yes, indeed, and it's a obviously carbon steering wheel. It's a matte carbon steering wheel, flat bottom here. We're gonna take a look at the stock one here in a second. We got Alcantara right here. We've got a white stripe right there, and as you guys can see, we're gonna be reusing the airbag and also the buttons on the stock steering wheel. I also like how Carbontastic, they always provide you with this cover. It's very cool. I dig it. But check this out. So we hop in here and take a look at the stock steering wheel. It's pretty boring looking. There's no flat bottom. It's a lot thinner. The newer steering wheel it's like girthier. It's got grooves here on this side for, you know, just gripping the steering wheel. And I think it's going to be a nice interior upgrade for the visuals with a new steering wheel. So I'm excited to install the first modification on the RS7, because obviously we're not counting like the side markers, although it is a little mod, but you know, it's so minor. So the biggest job, I think, is going to be to remove the stock steering wheel, getting the airbag off, because it's a little tricky. I've looked at like actual Audi instructions of how to do this properly. The main tools that we're going to be using is T25. They do not want you to use a screwdriver for this, like a flathead. And then we got a 12 triple square for the actual bolt to get the steering wheel off here. So yeah, I mean, let's not waste any time. Preferably you should disconnect the battery when you do this. Shut up. That is one thing I hate about this car. As soon as the door's open and the car's running, it starts beeping. We're gonna turn the steering wheel because we need access back here. We'll see how long this takes. So it's hard to get a really good camera angle for this part here, but we need to get in underneath here and loosen a spring that will loosen one side of the airbag. So we're just gonna get into it here. Oh. Good job, Mike. I don't know if this comes out on video, but I managed to scratch the frickin' instrument cluster plastic here. God, I'm an idiot. See, I should have done this to start with. Okay, so I went and bought one of these little mirror thingies. I feel like a dentist over here, but it's retractable. And the thing is, let's see if I can get this on video. Yeah. We need to get to that little metal wire looking bar thing and push that down, because that's going to release the one side of the airbag. Again, I don't know if that came out good on video, but I hope you guys understand sort of what I'm thinking here. See? There we go. So that wasn't really too hard at all. All we gotta do now is disconnect that wire right there, and then we have one down below here also. Yeah, I'm gonna need like a little pick tool for that. They look like tight little bastards. So I'm experimenting big time with the camera angles here. Hopefully it works out. But anyhow, we got a 90 little pick tool, and I'm gonna try to just get in there and remove this damn thing. Maybe I shouldn't have turned the steering wheel this way. I'll turn it back. Ah, there we go. It's always, to me, nerve-wracking when you got like a sharp little pick tool and tons of wires. What if I slip and like cut one of the wires? You don't want that. So I'm trying to find the little release points on this last connection here on this black one. I wish I had another arm, because now I can't hold the flashlight when I'm trying to show you guys. Oh, there it is. Oh no, I got the whole thing out. Yeah, I think I was supposed to do that, maybe. So the thing is, we're going to be reusing this whole harness for these buttons, because as soon as the steering wheel comes out, we need to remove the buttons here. So yeah, see this little freaking thing, of course I stuck myself, which is like no big deal whatsoever, but if you don't take care of this right away, you'll have blood all over the place. It's just annoying. I can't get these two to separate, but it's not releasing. So yeah, see, all I really needed was some help. And it came off really easy. It's just so hard to grip this little piece here without, like, you know, pulling in the wires. You don't want to do that, but at least we got the airbag off. Now it's time to get the steering wheel off. And like we said, we got a triple square 12 goes in like that. Shut up. See, it's coming out now. Now it's going back in. We got the bolt off. I mean, pretty simple so far, I'm not gonna lie. And there it's off. All right, so now we have the steering wheels right next to each other. And you know what? I think the new steering wheel, even though, not just because it has a flat bottom, but it's a little smaller than the old one. It's girthier, like we mentioned in the beginning, but the stock one is bigger in diameter. I like this a lot more. One thing I really didn't like about the stock steering wheel are the paddle shifters. They're just small. And I never liked them. You can hardly find them back there. But for the new one, we of course have carbon paddles. So they're gonna be a lot bigger once everything is installed and ready to go. But before we get to that point, the next thing we gotta do is remove this outer part here so we can access the buttons and, you know, the harnesses, because they need to come from here and onto there. So I'm assuming all I need to do is just use the 90-degree pick tool again and carefully try to get this off. See, it's getting there. I'm just trying to do it carefully. We got it out on this side here. I just don't want to break anything. Of course, this flew off now. Typical. Yeah, so this whole part right here flew off, but I managed to click it back in again. Yeah, but I broke this. Look. That's supposed to sit right in here. So now these buttons aren't going to work. Good job, Mike. It's supposed to look like that clip right there, but it doesn't. So the buttons for the volume and all that stuff, they're not going to work now until I get a new harness. See? Something always happens when I try to do stuff on my own. I go as carefully as I can, but I managed to break something anyway. But we're just going to keep on going, of course. Now this is the one connection that I had such issues with removing, and that's for the airbag. Oh, there we go. Thank God. You know what? I just realized it's not for these buttons right here. It's actually for the paddle shifter, so I won't be able to shift up now. That sucks. Unless I can just freaking try to stick them back in there, and yeah, I don't know, man. Now to remove the paddle shifter, it's a T15, yeah, torque bit 15. You just loosen that screw. Make sure we don't lose it. Remove it. There we go. Now we got to get the actual paddle shifter off this whole black piece here. So before we start messing with the paddle shifters, I think it's more important to get this wire out and put it in the new steering wheel, and start getting the new steering wheel together, and then yeah, we'll worry about the paddle shifters later. I don't really use them all that much anyhow. I mean, it's no dual clutch. Alright, so I got the buttons off, and that wire is in perfect, so just gotta plug that in later on. Now what I'm working on currently is the one connector where I tore out the wires for the shifting up button. This is what it's supposed to look like on the downshift button, so I'm just sticking them back in there. Now if that ends up working, once we figure out how to get this whole black mechanism off the actual old button and onto the new one, that's gonna be a freaking miracle. All right, so the big problem that I'm having is, hopefully you guys can see this, there's a pin right here. All right, that needs to come out. I've watched other videos on YouTube of other Audis like S3s, RS3. You can just push it out from right over here. There's a hole here as well, but on mine here on the RS7 there's not. So you're supposed to stick like a little pick tool in here, push it up, and then it should come out somehow. It's not working for me, so I'm really frustrated right now, and I feel like I'm gonna break something more. This thing is already broken, but yeah, I didn't think this was gonna be the biggest issue, because this whole black mechanism needs to be removed, and that spring is holding it, you know, in place, and it needs to be transferred over to the new carbon fiber paddle shifter, and it's not working. As soon as I get some instructions here so I don't freaking break this whole thing, we'll continue on in the video. Well, good morning. I've been out here all night. No, I haven't really been out here all night, but I've been working big time on this. And this is what it takes to do it. I have to use my wife's reading glasses. I've been fiddling around with this thing. You guys see this little pin sticking out here? Finally, I got this thing to come out, and I got the smallest little screwdriver that we have in the house to get in underneath here and push this like outwards. So now we're gonna grab some pliers and hopefully get this little pin out, but this is just one of the paddle shifters. We've still got one left to go. This has been the most intricate freaking little crap that I've had to deal with ever in terms of a car. And then you just got to be able to pull the pin out once you get it out far enough. Do it somewhat carefully and not lose it. There we go. Oh, thank God. I mean, this is definitely not designed to be taken apart. If like an Audi engineer stumbles across this video at some point, it's just gonna be like, 9! Was bist du? Idiot! So I got the black mechanism pushed onto the new paddle shifter for the downshift, so we might as well just get this pin back in where it belongs. There we go. Look at that. I can't believe it. Dude, we have one paddle shifter that's done. Once you get that freaking pin out, man, it's not that hard, but getting it out, it's tricky. So yeah, I got the pin out of the other one as well. It's amazing how much simpler everything gets when like you have a belief system, because you know the first one worked. All right, so we got both paddle shifters. They're good to go, hopefully, with the one connection being okay. And I can probably switch to my cooler sunglasses now when I don't have to wear my wipes anymore. So now we're just gonna get this wire through that hole right there. And then plug it in right there. There we go. And then the T15, screw it back in. All right, so got one side on. We just need to click this back in. There we go. Now on to this next side, and this is the side where this little connector actually came off. I was able to stick these wires back in there good, so hopefully it'll work. These bicycle dudes are always bicycling by here, and they talk really loud, so if you're wondering what you're hearing, that was it. Alright, man, we're coming along here. Look at this. We got the button assembly all clicked in here. So we got the harness wire tucked in nice there. We got this for the airbag. Yeah, all that's left now is just to get it back on the car, get the airbag in there, and see if everything works. Man, look how good this is going to look. So I just stuck the steering wheel on there, and all you gotta make sure you're doing is lining up these two lines here, because there's a line right there and then one right there, so you make sure that the steering wheel is on there straight and not crooked. So okay, grab the airbag, plug this stuff in, and start the car up. Hopefully everything works. Oh crap, what am I, stupid? Yeah, you need to tighten this first. Good Lord in heaven. Oh my God, now I gotta remove all these. Fuck. God. See? When I try to do stuff on my own, this is what happens. Alright, so I think that's enough getting that main plug. Yeah. Yeah, so I got the airbag out and I figured out what it is. This is the actual wire that makes everything click. This is what you have little issues with in the beginning, because this is what gets the airbag to pop. So we gotta reuse this thing too. I didn't know that. Yeah, so you just pop it in there, and yeah, it sits the way it should. It sits the way that it did on the stock steering wheel as well. So it's pretty easy to remove, actually. All right, let's get the airbag on there. Plug number one. Let's go. Yes! I just hope everything works, the paddle shifters and everything. Please, God. All right, let's start her up. Oh, no airbag light. No, oh, airbag light. Crap! Passenger airbag off. All right. Either way, we're gonna take it for a drive, see if the paddle shifters work and all that good stuff. Man, the steering wheel feels so good though. God, that's nice. All right, we're gonna put it in sport, of course, manual. Upshift worked just fine. Downshift. Yeah, it works. It's cold now, so the transmission is really slow, but the upshift button works. That's the one where I pulled the wires. Ah, thank God, man. Horn works. Downshift. See, I can't wait to get an exhaust on this thing. I mean, it's a freaking RS car. It's quiet as a Tesla. But it works. Ah, thank God. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah, man, this thing looks so good. I love this steering wheel. It feels so much better in your hands. I love the matte carbon, flat bottom. It's just so nice. Make sure that the buttons work. Oh yeah, look at that. They work. Yeah, the scrolling button works just fine. This one right here. Volume button works. Nav button.
Navigation is not active.
Okay, yeah, well, everything works. It's just, the funny thing is, the airbag, watch this. I'm gonna turn the car off, turn it back on, so the airbag button will come on, then it goes away and then comes back on again. I don't know what that is. See, it goes away, comes right back on. See, the paddle shifters are bigger now, so you can reach up here. Yeah, this is so much better. Huge thanks to Carbontastic for sending this to me. I absolutely love it. First modification for the RS7, and its interior just looks so much better. It does. Carbon paddle shifters, it just enhances the look in general. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. This one ended up being kind of long. I wasn't planning on that, but it is. Super happy with the end result, and I just talked to Carbontastic, and apparently an airbag light can appear if you didn't disconnect the battery like you're supposed to do when you're doing these installs. So then the code can be thrown, so we're gonna take care of the code. I was actually kind of semi-yelled at by them. You have to disconnect the battery, and I know you should, but I didn't. Now, if I can install something like this, anyone can. So I'm happy that I ended up getting it done. I think it was a pretty good install video with all the little, you know, things that could be an issue with doing this, at least on an RS7. So if you're in the market for a steering wheel, hit them up. I'll have all their contact information in the description below, Instagram and website and all that stuff. They're great to deal with. It's my second steering wheel from them. Great quality, just good overall. But that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. If you're stopping by for the first time and you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Bye-bye.